Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 25th of November 2023. I hope you all enjoyed that, my most recent video in the Viggen tutorial series, all about the RB-75 missile, the Swedish Maverick. Quite fun employing that, and of course, the EP-13 sight being quite a strange little thing. This CRT buried deep inside the cockpit with the kind of the tube in lenses in order to see it. It's a bit of fun. So, welcome to the stream. Paul Cope, gaming is my passion, mine too. Sandbox Code, Storm Kimbari, Tog, John Bloor, Mr. Yeti, LJ, Mark S, Colin Kelly, Tog, Only Napalm, Griff Nizzle, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Mr. Yeti, Dennis Beck, and Pink Floyd. Welcome everybody to the stream. What have we got here? John Bloor, should have seen the video I just watched. Bloke crashed his jet trying to fire missiles. I always leave my mistakes in. And also, luckily it happened after I'd fully demonstrated the missile, so I don't consider it to be that big a deal. But yes, I did smash the aircraft into the sea, like a silly boy. Let me see. Any other comments here? Mr. Yeti, have you put new shelves up? I have, well spotted. I put up some shelves. I wanted to display certain items. I've not actually put up everything that I was intending to just yet. John Bloor, Deepak heading into the deep. Yep. Tog, dotChuckles is about as real as that fictional missile. dotChuckles is very real. Very real. Thank you very much, TechGaming45. I had a lot of fun filming that one. I was originally intending to do the freefall bombs, the Mark 71s, I think they're called, or M71, but Ecroplan mode engaged. However, I didn't have time. That's going to be a slightly longer tutorial because the Viggen has a variety of ways of employing freefall bombs, and I didn't have the time to put something together, unfortunately. Dennis Beck, thank you for everything you put into this. I've learned a lot from your vids. Would love to fly with you all sometime. I'm an AV-8B guy. Well, you should stay to the end then when I talk about the Virtual Air Force, because I just happen to be the squadron leader for the Harrier Squadron in the Virtual Air Force. Welcome to the stream, Gazda M. Hello. It was glorious. Nice. Cool. So, yeah, let's get into the DCS news. As always, we're going to begin with the Eagle Dynamics newsletter, which this week doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, but we'll cover it nonetheless. Whiskey Dale, howdy. Dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, our autumn sale is still ongoing and now also on Steam. Don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of up to 50% discount on our most important modules. We continue to work on forward-looking infrared texturing of the ships and ground forces in DCS. We're also working on more realistic thermal signatures for the deck crew on board DCS Supercarrier. Please read the details below. Orleans Junkie, welcome to the stream. The Tempest multiplayer server is running their Blue Flash V3 campaign, and we encourage you to go check them out. They offer both fixed and rotary wing action on a variety of missions that involve team coordination to attack and defend front lines. Strategic locations and high-value assets. Join the Tempest's Discord. The Q&A will be coming soon. The sheer volume of data and information has made this task more challenging than expected, but the feedback has been wonderful. Many thanks for all your passion and support. Yours sincerely, Eagle Dynamics. Tiger ASW, evening. Welcome to the stream. Up to 50% off savings autumn sale. Whether you're a dogfighting enthusiast, a precision strike aficionado, or a carrier operations expert, there's something for everyone in this spectacular DCS autumn sale. Get up to 50% discounts across most modules on our shop and on Steam. Happy flying, and may your autumn skies be filled with air combat thrills that only DCS can offer. Yes, indeed. Tog, isn't multiplayer still effed? Short answer, yes. There have been some improvements, and actually we're going to go over the open beta that was released this week. But sadly, multiplayer, at least on the scale that we do it in VAF for our kind of massed missions is currently not possible on open beta. The multiplayer is still just not working well enough. It's very sad, but Eagle Dynamics are aware of the issue and they are working to resolve it. Fair FM, hey, welcome to the stream. Pink Floyd, still no Phantoms on Steam, McBummer. Griffinizzle, nice to see Tempe get a shout out, good folks. Yeah, I've never been on there, actually, I need to go check it out. It sounds good. Tier Zero, welcome to the stream, good evening. Oh yeah, good evening to those who celebrate. Yes, I think, is it Thanksgiving? That's the thing that you have in North America. So if you're having your Thanksgiving today, then I hope you're having a good one. Eat some turkey. Only Napalm. Heat Blur will do AI Sab J35 Draken, maybe flyable as well. We'll have Cola Map. Yeah, they confirmed that they were intending to do an AI model. It's less certain about the whole playable, flyable one. Guess we'll find out later. So, the FLIR development report, otherwise known as Forward-Looking Infrared. We have recently been developing infrared textures for ships, deck personnel, and more ground units. This required gathering and analysing various references. As a result, we created infrared textures for units that correspond to engine locations, exhaust systems, electronic devices, and weapons. They will have the ability to noticeably heat up and cool down based on operation. Authentic IR maps have also been developed for DCS supercarrier deck crew, where the thickness of clothing, equipment, masks, and human body heat are considered. Please stay tuned for more news on this subject soon. Yeah, the work that has been done on the flare and the texturing is really, really cool. We've already seen this, it must be a good couple of years ago now, and this is already in game, this is already in the open beta, but the fact that, you know, if the engine is running in a tank, then the engine block and the exhaust system slowly heat up, and it depends on how fast the tank is driving. Weapons fire causes the barrel of guns to heat up and to cool. The tracks and tires heat up and cool depending on movement. And like tracers and bullets, you know, show as hot. And even their impacts now. This was a recently fixed bug that the impacts of rounds now actually show as hot in FLIR as well, which is really good to see. Orleans Junkie 4-day weekend. TOG Turkey Day. Mark S. Just American Thanksgiving, not the whole continent. All right, okay, oh, okay. For some reason in my head, Canadians also celebrated it. I guess I'm wrong. Anyway, good excuse to eat some turkey. Turkey is pretty good. Tempest's Blue Flash multiplayer server. The sister server of Enigma's Cold War is back with version 3. This evolution focuses on curated, handcrafted. This sounds like a Marks and Spencer's advert. These are not normal missions. These are handcrafted, curated, sun-dried, you know, cask-aged, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let me get back to it. This evolution focuses on a curated, handcrafted multiplayer / multi-mission campaign that begins in the Persian Gulf with a battle for Dubai. Territorial control will initially stretch across the Syria and Sinai maps as sides advance through tailor-made objectives. It's tailor-made as well. They've measured people in order to make these missions. The Tempest server has created a detailed Blue Flash v3 presentation. The community is mostly Discord-based, where you can ask questions, provide feedback, and make suggestions. Because this is an open beta test of the new server campaign, please feel free to post in the Tempest's Discord channels if you come across any issues. Good hunting! Thank you again for your passion and support, and thank you for all your valuable feedback. Yours sincerely, Eagle Dynamics. Given that the multiplayer is broken right now, I can assume that Eagle Dynamics have had a lot of valuable feedback. I hope it hasn't been too brutal. But you know, 2.9, DCS 2.9 in open beta, generally speaking, in my opinion, is excellent. You know, the visual improvements, the smoothness, especially in VR. You know, I primarily fly in VR, and it's running better than it ever has. The only issue is if you have kind of more than 10 players or so in a multiplayer server, then it all falls apart. But I have to say, it looks fantastic and it's running great. Canada does, but it's in October. Well, there you go. I probably got confused by that. Pink Floyd, Canadians, yeah, okay, in October. Everybody's telling me this. Why does everyone know this and I don't? I feel like an idiot. Not for the first time. John Bloor, we need Nick Gray's dulcet tones narrating this. He would be perfect for a Marks and Spencer's advert, whilst he pours custard. Gazda M, so they've already eaten the turkey. Yeah, they have. The Canadian turkeys are all consumed. Mountain Man Simulations. In Canada, we like to have more of a break between our turkey feedings. Nice. Oh yeah, of course, Christmas. Yes, I get what you're saying now. So the other thing that happened during the week was that we got an open beta update. We all got very excited when we saw this. Good evening, Paul Dillon. We all get very excited when we saw this because, you know, myself and many others just assumed this meant that the multiplayer was fixed. But it's not, sadly. But we did get some small fixes. The infrared pointer visible without NVGs, even in broad daylight, has been fixed. That was a weird one that came with 2.9. I noticed this a little bit. But yeah, nice to see that fixed. In multiplayer, they have bumped the Net Protocol version, which I assumed meant there'd be some fixes, and I would assume it's improved. I think some people have reported that it's better, but sadly for the size of missions that we do in VAF, it's still not usable. We're doing training just now spread across multiple servers, but of course in the case that we want to do a mission, we need everybody in the one server, and that's not workable right now. We've got some crashes that have been fixed, some adjustments to the B-52 textures and LODs, and NVG mask in VR covers the entire field of view. This was fixed. This is a funny one because a lot of people were really happy that you could actually peek under your night vision goggles when in VR, because that's a fantastic feature that you have in 2D. In VR, it's always covered your entire field of view. And in the real world, at least I know helicopter pilots and certain other kinds of pilots, they wear the NVGs up quite high, so they have a gap underneath, so that they can look through the night vision goggles to see outside the cockpit, but if they would like to reference instruments or things inside the cockpit, they can look down and under the goggles in order to see the cockpit normally. Because, of course, if you look inside the cockpit with the goggles on, you just see bloom, and also the other problem is that the goggles are focused out to, I don't know, a distance, maybe infinity. They're really designed for looking out the cockpit and seeing, you know, distant things in the landscape. If you look inside the cockpit, everything is blurred, and also everything is too bright. So, sad to see them fix this. Hopefully they'll make this actually something you can set yourself in the future. There are some shader mods that you can install for DCS that allow you to do this as well. I might actually try them out and see how I get on with that. What do we got? What do we got? Gaming is my passion. I love the DLSS performance in VR. 120 frames per second in a Pimax Crystal is to die for. That sounds very good. I'm not getting quite that much. I was previously getting 45 frames a second in an HP Reverb 2. G2, and I now get something like 55-60, so it's better, but it's nowhere near what you're talking about. However, I'm not using DLSS or FSS in my case. I'm running without. Good evening, Mark. Tog, Deepak needs to swim across the Atlantic for a year or two. Oof, okay. You're wanting me over there. I don't know. I don't know what good I could do. I'm sure you guys have got a handle on things. John Bloor, DCS and M&S collab when? That would be great. Yeah, I've got ideas now. Like, I always have ideas for kind of meme or joke videos that I could make, but I never get around to it. Orleans Junkie, day-night shadow is still a thing. John Bloor, I'd like to have full screen NVG for external views and night ops. Yeah, that'd be cool. Griff Nizzle, I find DLSS still causes too much ghosting for my tastes. I've not run DLSS because I don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, but the AMD FSS I have tested a lot, and for me, in particular with the shadows, it was creating a lot of bizarre artifacting, so I had to turn it off. Performance was great though. So yeah, F-16 gets an updated German flight manual, for those of you who sprache the Deutsche, and the FA-18C Hornet, they fixed a crash, and then some updates to campaigns. So, that's everything in 2.9.1.4833. Moving on, I thought it'd be fun to take a little look at this article that Stormbirds wrote, all about the Mirage F1 BE and what's coming next. Always check out stormbirds.blog for your DCS news. When you're not watching this stream, you should be reading Stormbirds. This is a really, really nice piece that Shamrock 15 put together, taking a little bit of a look at the Mirage F1 BE. I wonder if these are even his pictures. I'm assuming they are, because I've not seen these before. I've not flown the BE yet. I need to find some people in VAF who'll fly it with me, so I can try out front and back cockpits. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like a really, really cool aircraft. And I wonder if it has applications outside of training. Of course, with the second seat, you lose the internal cannon, but the aircraft is still absolutely combat capable. And so I wonder if there are certain mission types where that second set of eyes could be useful. Yeah, gaming is my passion. Ghosting is true when looking at fast objects. FLIR FM, there's a mod for full-screen NVGs. Well, actually, the full-screen NVGs are now the default, so it was more having the gap underneath that I was hoping for. Pink Floyd, and still no free trial for the F1. Another Mick Bummer. Griff Nizzle, gotta admit, I'm pleasantly surprised with how well the F1 is done. I kind of assumed it'd be a very niche jet, but it's become a mainstay for the Cold War folks. Yeah, I know that... Oh, wow, actually, I just realised this is bullet holes here. Yeah, I know that places like Enigma's Cold War server, the F1 is de rigueur, as the French would say. There's a lot of F1s flying around in places like that. I've only flown it a little bit. I did a kind of first impressions video when it first came out, but I've not flown it that much since, to be honest, and I should really do some videos on it. The thing is, there are 100 things that I should really do videos on, and my time is so limited. Yeah, I mostly do my filming on Saturdays, so I only have one day a week when I kind of put these things together. If only I could dedicate more time to this, but I will try to do more. So, a look at the DCS Mirage F1 BE and what's next. Aerges have managed to release 3 out of their 4 variants of the DCS Mirage F1 that they've planned as part of the module. The latest one, released recently, brings forward a 2-seater trainer version with some interesting differences to the earlier models, some interesting technology, and a new weapon option for all of the Mirage F1s. Let's have a look. So Aerges are basing their work on the Spanish Air Force's versions of the Mirage F1. 6 of the BE variants were delivered in 1980 and 1981, themselves very similar to the French Mirage F1B. The 2-seat variant was considered an operational conversion trainer, bringing pilots forward from training aircraft into the combat aircraft. The F1B and F1BE we have in DCS are fully combat capable, with the 2-seat conversion adding 30 centimeters of length to the airplane while reducing total fuel and removing the twin 30mm DEFA 553 cannons. The aircraft also weighs an extra 200 kilos over the single-seat version, and that's before you even add that second pilot. Depending on how many bacon rolls he's had, that could be a lot more. Here's a view of the back cockpit with the HUD camera repeater. If it was me in the back seat, you'd be adding quite a bit of weight. And a nice view of the side consoles here. Very nicely modelled. Aerges are just, fantastic. They make really, really good stuff. Very, very happy with the modelling in the Mirage F1. Looks absolutely fantastic. And there's the view through that HUD camera repeater as well. Mark S. Holes are for the boarding ladder, I think. Oh, right, okay. Thank you, I thought they were bullet holes. They're speed holes to make it go faster. Yes, so there we go. There's some additional pictures of the back seat. It does look very fancy. Aerges have, of course, now fully modelled the back seat. Visually, it's quite similar to the front seat, and the layout was immediately familiar. Nearly everything you have in the front seat is also in the back, with a few differences. The back seat doesn't have as good of a view forward, unsurprisingly. So Dassault managed to create a remote camera system that pipes a video feed of the HUD area into the back seat, making the back seater fully aware of what the pilot can see through the HUD. Aerges have modelled this extremely well, with the black and white, a bit grainy video being piped into the rear seat. It's fast, responsive, and I've had no problems with it. You can make out what's going on, while also feeling like this is based on technology of yesteryear. The master arms switch and weapons controls are located only in the front, so the rear seater can only observe those parts of the process. There is a panel with lights that are arrayed in the same way as the front seat weapon selection, which means you can still see what's selected, but you cannot select it yourself. Aside from that, everything else that I went looking for appears to be there, including the various radar controls and radar display. The display, by the way, is in a different spot, located front and center rather than off to the side. This is in the rear seat. Griff Nizzle, I'm actually hyped for their Starfighter, considering they've done the F1. Yeah, that's going to be cool for sure. Oof, okay. Doing a bit of dogfighting here in the F1 BE. Very exciting. I guess that's a... Let me see, is that a MiG-15? MiG-17? I'm not sure. One of the... it must be a 17, actually, because it's carrying missiles. I don't think the 15 carries missiles. Oh, wow. Yep, firing the rockets. Marvelous, marvelous. So a lot of what Aerges have been doing recently has been in the realm of bug fixing, making the ILS glide slope work more accurately, and resolving missile tone audio. That sort of thing. There was one new toy that came alongside the BE, and that's the CC-420 gun pod. With the internal DEFA 30mm cannons removed in the BE mode, some sort of gun solution is needed, and Aerges took the opportunity to add the pod for the BE, as well as the other models. The pods are functionally the same as the internal guns, both being examples of the 30mm DEFA cannon. John Bloor, Aerges would be a great contender for either a Thunder Chief or a Jaguar. Oh yes, I want a Jaguar. The pods can be mounted under the fuselage on the centerline or the inner wing stations. They can be fired alongside the internal cannons on the CE and EE variants, adding plenty of saturation fire if you need it. Air and ground targets are possible. We've got some more pictures again. I guess this is a demonstration of the guns. Blowing up some poor Cobras and Chinooks, it would seem. Very fancy indeed. Looking nice. So what comes next? Aerges have established a reputation, first as AvioDev and now as Aerges, of being a developer that commits to a project and sticks with the development at a relentless pace over the course of years. The early C101 project lacked a lot of features, but the developer stuck with it, adding capabilities and technologies for several years. The same, I'm pleased to report, is happening with the F1. Ongoing bug fixes plus new features, updates, have been underway, with the F1 BE delivered, only the F1M remains, the modernised one. Aerges reports that the RWR and a significant texture update are planned prior to the launch of the F1M, so we should have a sense of where things are as these features and revisions are delivered. So this is Aerges on the DCS forums. So RWR will be worked on after the release of the BE and before the M. There's a texture overhaul to be released in the update after the BE. New RWR sounds. The model currently uses sounds from the F-15C as placeholders. A dynamic noise system for the radar. A new pilot model. New cage-uncaged logic for IR missiles. New missions. A campaign. And additional weapons are still planned. I fully expect that Aerges will continue to support the development of the module for quite some time yet. They've already proven that with the C101. A modernised Mirage F1M will add some interesting additional features to the jet, while revisions all round will bring all 4 variants further along. If history with this developer is any guide. So there we go. I'm kind of just doing story time here, reading out an article from Stormbirds. But check this out at stormbirds.blog. Excellent source for DCS news. Really, really good place. Pink Floyd, any info on the ED Q&A that is coming out soon? No, don't know anything. Don't know anything about that currently. Fair FM, I'm up to see the result of the F1M, as it can be a good demo for future developments. Yeah, because it's going to have much more modern avionics. That's going to be quite cool. John Bloor, F1M will be the one I like the most. My jam is that 80s, 90s era mix of steam gauges and the odd MFD. Mwah. Griff Nizzle, radar still a bit jank, and not just cause of old tech, but other than that, really awesome work. Gaming is my passion. Any thoughts on the potential 2024 Beyond topic? Well, the video will be dropping, I would imagine, sometime after Christmas. That's usually when they're coming out. So we don't have that much longer to wait. But I would expect to see the Chinook. I would expect to see something about the Typhoon. Maybe the Tornado, although it's probably a bit early to see anything about the Tornado. Hopefully we either see the Kiowa in that video or we have the Kiowa by then. Polychop were fairly adamant that we should see the Kiowa land or launch in 2023. We're running out of 2023 now. And of course the Phantom. Hopefully we have the Phantom in our hands before then, but if not, I would expect it to feature in the 2024 and beyond video. And FLIR FM really, really wants the A6. Certainly, we're intending to see that as an AI asset first. Phlegmin, I'm very excited on a MiG-23. MiG-23 is coming. Razbam have shown external and internal shots of that, although I don't even know if they're at the point of modelling it yet. Sorry, not modelling, but like systems modelling, programming it. Griffnizzle, Hellcat type. Just me? You know that I'm not really into World War II stuff, so I won't comment on the World War II things. I'm sure there are other people who are way more knowledgeable and excited on that topic. Orleans Junkie, the nicest thing I could think to ask for the Q&A was when will DCS not be open beta? So I didn't ask. Well, you can download the stable. There's no, you don't have to run the open beta if you don't want to. Of course, most of us do run the open beta simply because we like to get our hands on these tasty new aircraft and features early. But if you want stability, you do have the option of downloading the stable version. John Blur, speculation on previously unannounced modules. I'd suspect either a MiG-29A or AH-1 Cobra variant. I don't know. They've been very quiet on the MiG-29 more recently. It's been announced and cancelled and re-announced, and I really don't know what the state is just now. I would assume they're working on it, but who knows? Kevin Stover, so glad I was able to catch you live today. Love the stream. Thank you very much. Actually, this is probably a good time to say, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It's a really big help to me in the channel. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment. Super important. It's very good for the YouTube algorithm. It's also really good for my self-esteem. Every time I look at that number and it goes up, I feel a little bit better about my wretched self. So, make an old man feel good. Anyway, Mark, I'm wondering, since the retirement of the F117, cheers Serbia, they didn't know it was invisible, will we get the DCS version? No one told the Serbians it was invisible. I would suspect no. The thing is, the F117 could be reactivated. They've retained them in a state where they could reactivate them, so I would suspect they're still very much secret, and I would be very surprised if we could get manuals on that. H1 would be cool. Michael Frisia, you know what isn't coming anytime soon that we were promised? Radar in the Harrier. Well, to be fair to Razbam, they've said that they will work on it when they have the time, and that's probably going to be quite some time. Self-esteem, unlikes. Oh, John, how could you? Oof, ow. Mark S, I have 2 subscribers. You can just imagine my self-esteem levels. Well, send a link, and I'll like your channel. I'll subscribe. Pink Floyd, I did zero-vis ILS landing in the F-15E. My self-esteem is mighty high. That's very good. Very, very good. FLIR FM, it's flying as a stealth aggressor at Nellis, yeah. So, and they could absolutely reactivate it for combat missions too. Yeah, F117 is reactivated. It's being used as a stealth adversary. Yeah, so as long as that's the case, I would suspect we are not getting an F117. So, moving on, this is actually, whose channel is this? Schwibon 2000. This chappie has previously posted a bunch of videos all about the terrain following radar. Let me actually mute that just now. And, well, actually, I'll give us a little bit of volume on this. This is him demonstrating loft symbology in the F-15E Strike Eagle. This is, I assume, coming soon because it's being demonstrated in what I would imagine is the alpha version of the module. So let's take a little look at this together. Let's enjoy this together. Mountain Man simulations. No F117 until 2040. Yay! People are subscribing to Mark S. Fantastic. So, we have symbology. Let's see what this looks like. I've actually never seen the loft symbology in the Strike Eagle. And I used to, well, actually I must have done, because I used to I used to play Jane's F-15E Strike Eagle, so I must have done loft attacks in that, but I cannot remember. That was so many years ago. So we've got steering indicate. Oh, we've got a bar. Okay, we've got a bar. What does that do? We follow the bar. Okay, that's easy enough. And I guess when you hit, when you hit the right angle, it just drops the bomb. Simple enough. Oh, time to pull on the right-hand side of the HUD as well. Okay, that's cool. Let me just, sorry, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, there we go, time to pull. So you've got time to pull. Yeah, okay. So 10 seconds time to pull. He's fairly well lined up there. Gets the bar, that was at 5 seconds. 1, 0, follow the bar, follow the bar, follow the bar. And weapons are away. You get time to release and you get time to impact. Okay, okay. Seems straightforward enough. Flegman, I just bought the JF-17 and I look on your tutorials. If I understand with the LD-10, I can't select radar which I want to destroy. That is correct. Yeah, it does have a kind of planned mode, but the planned mode requires you to set a point on the ground that you're going to attack. But you cannot choose the type of radar it's going to attack. No. So, as described in the... Oh dear. As described in the video itself, you do not get to choose the actual emitter. This looks super effective. So there you go. There is a video from Chwibon2000. Go and check out that channel there. Also has a bunch of videos all about the terrain following radar as well. Very nicely demonstrated. So, hopefully we're getting that soon. I actually haven't done that much flying in the Strike Eagle yet either. I am waiting for it to kind of fill out a little bit. Terrain following radar, though, is a huge add-on. And now we've got the JDAMs, and now we're just about to get lofting. So, it's really coming along. I should probably start doing some more short format videos on it. I won't do full tutorials until I feel like it's kind of at the right stage, but I can almost certainly do kind of small focused videos on specific features of the jet just now, so I'll do that soon. Griff Nizzle, imagine using YouTube not in dark mode. Yeah, actually you're right. Funnily enough, on my laptop here at the side, my YouTube is in dark mode. I should probably set it on my desktop PC as well. So that is actually all the news that we have for this week. So if you haven't already, please don't leave yet. There's still a little bit more stuff to cover, but not DCS news. But remember to subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really big help to me and to the channel. You also have the option, if you'd like to further support the channel, of joining Deephack's ground crew. You can do that by clicking join below, and it's a small monthly fee. You get to join a Discord server with all the other people who are members of the ground crew, and we occasionally do flights together. So you basically get sort of access to me, I guess, and the other ground crew members. It's a nice little community where we can share DCS news and ideas and all kinds of other stuff. So check that out if you would like to further support me. I really appreciate those of you who do, and I'll do a big shout out at the end. But in the meantime, I'm going to pimp the VAF, as I often do. So, the VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and dotChuckles many, many moons ago. We are a kind of opt-in milsim style group. We currently have 2 generic squadrons, one for fixed wing and one for helicopters, where you can fly a variety of airframes under instruction and fly with other people who like those airframes as well. We then have dedicated squadrons for the Harrier, the F-15, the F-16, and the F-18. So if you fly those aircraft and would like to join a squadron, then you can join one of those. I'm actually the squadron leader for what we call 3 Squadron, which is the Harrier Squadron. We fly every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 PM UK time. Most of us are based in the EU and in the UK. We normally kind of flip between doing missions and doing training. Currently, though, we're just doing dedicated training. And the missions will start up again once the DCS 2.9 lag problems are gone. So you'll see in the chat right now a Discord link. Everybody is welcome. Go ahead and join the VAF Discord. If you're watching this stream after the fact, there's also a link in the show notes below. Come join us. Everybody is welcome. It's always, it's a fun place to hang out and have a chat. Flegman, JF17, can I set waypoints in the F10 map? No, you cannot. It doesn't have that functionality, unfortunately. Eagle Wings, I see the Strike Eagle becoming a complex bird to fly and use with all that are left to be added. However, that lofting process is made easy with HUD symbology. You find this with the F-15. The F-15 has very complex systems, and you know, it takes a lot to set up and to understand them, but then usually the symbology and like the kind of final employment of everything is not too bad. It's actually a fairly easy aircraft to fly. Salute you, Fair. Thanks for joining. Nice. John Bloor, well overdue gate crashing a training session. Oh, you absolutely should. You absolutely should. It'll be a good laugh. So yeah, that's basically everything that I have for this week. I've been Deepak. I do a new tutorial video every Saturday at 6:30 PM UK time, currently a series on the Vigan. That's always followed by the DCS News, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you very much, everybody, and big shout out to Deepak's ground crew. Thank you very much, all of you, for your extra support. As I said, you can join Deepak's ground crew by clicking join below the video. Big shout out to Auto Thrust Blue, Byron Farrow, Storm Kimbari, Channel Right, Mangash, J.R. Walker, Chandler Hedgevald, Griff Nizzle, Mr. Yeti, Bread, Tier Zero, Tiger Moto, Sean IM81, Charts, John Bloor, Frantic Stone, Mr. Craptacular, Alex, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Nero, Sandbox Code, Tog, Schmo78, Plucky Underdog, Issaid Pierre, Sebastian Romano, Springer11, and Pink Floyd. Thank you very much, all of you, and a big shout out and a big thanks to everybody who's watching the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Fly safe, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.